And so I can't tell if this is slanted or not. I think it's fine. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Recreating Recipes from Culinary School. I don't know if you noticed, but I have a new camera, which is really exciting because I can finally see myself, so I can make sure that when I'm filming at certain angles that I can make sure I'm getting I'm capturing it the way that I want to. But it is kind of weird because now I can see myself, but I need to make sure that I'm looking into the camera, but I can't help but keep looking at the screen. So it's definitely going to be some adjusting that I need to do. And also I got new mics for this camera, and I think they're so cute because I don't know if you can see, but they have like a smiley face. I think this is a good mic. I have no idea. But that's 99% of the reason why I bought these, because it has a smiley face on it. Okay, anyway, that's all. So, to continue on, for today's episode, we are gonna make crème brûlée. So when I was younger, I did it again. So before I went to culinary school, whenever my family would go out to a nicer restaurant, which wasn't very often, we also didn't go to American restaurants very often, but when we did, I always ordered crème brûlée. Because I thought, like 14-year-old me thought that it made me seem so much more sophisticated. And I was like, yeah, I'm ordering the crème brûlée. However, after culinary school, I learned how easy it was to make. And after that point, I couldn't understand why they were charging $12 for a crème brûlée. So after this episode, I hope that you will also make it at home and you can see just how easy it is to make. But I guess a recipe like this, it's really easy to make, but also it can be easy to mess up as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the ingredients for this one, super simple, really, really simple. Also, this is similar to, I keep looking here. This recipe, I don't know if I mentioned this in the fruit tarts episode, but the method that we're doing here is very similar to the pastry cream. We're just not finishing it on the stove, we'll finish it in the oven, and that's just the difference. But otherwise, technique is very similar. So I'm gonna bring you in a little closer for this part. Okay, so first we are going to add in our egg yolks and our sugar. I am doing a half recipe, so that's why this is really a really small amount. And we're just gonna whisk that in. Just like that. Then I'm just gonna set that off to the side. And here I have some heavy cream and vanilla bean paste. Gotta work really hard to look here. I added way too much vanilla bean paste, so this is gonna be very vanilla-y. But that's okay. I never really measure out vanilla bean paste. I kind of just eyeball it, and I let too much go in, but it's okay. It is what it is. I'm just bringing the cream to a simmer here, and then after I bring it to a simmer, we're gonna temper it into the egg yolk mixture. The cream is all warmed up, so we're gonna add it into the egg yolk mixture. I'm looking at here again, I need to look at here. And so, I told myself that I was going to be better at angles, but this is, even though I can see myself, this is still harder than I thought it would be. Okay, so we're gonna add the cream into the egg yolk mixture. Stacy Choi. So I'm just gonna slowly add it in and whisk at the same time. Okay, and then we are going to strain this in case we got any scrambled eggs. I am gonna put the dishes away and then I'm gonna grab the ramekins to place this in. This kind of looks like a sabayon. The sabayon is a soup. It's like a custard soup. Okay, so I have 2 ramekins here. I think just 2 ramekins will be enough. Yeah. I also feel like this recipe is super self-explanatory, so there's not really much I need to say. I don't know. Actually, this is perfect. This is perfectly, I did a half recipe. This is perfect for 2 6-ounce ramekins. That's the size that these are. Okay, so I have some hot water here. I like to add the water into a different cup so that when I take it over to the oven, I don't have to worry about carrying it and then water spilling everywhere. So I'll take it to the oven and then fill the water. The temperature of the water should be hot or at least warm so that you're not putting cold water in here and then throwing it in the oven, because the oven has already preheated, and if we put cold water in here, it usually will make it take much longer. Plus the temperature of the creme brulee itself is already warmer because we just took it off of the heat. So we do want to make it as similar in temperature as we can so that it bakes consistently. So let's go ahead and take it to the oven. Okay, so I was wondering if this was going to be an issue because I have a convection oven. It's like a mini air fryer oven, and there's a fan inside of it which makes it hotter, so I totally forgot about that. And now I'm turning down the temperature, but the reason why I mention it is because the tops are a little overdone, it looks. But let's see. They look set. I messed them up. I messed them up or the oven messed them up. I don't know. But I wanted to take them out so that I can really check. I'm pretty sure they're good. But yeah, so they are set. I hope it doesn't look like it's set because of the top and the bottoms are underdone. So the oven that I have has 2 fan symbols, but I think when it's just running, it still has a fan going on inside of it because it's meant to act like an air fryer. So I should have baked these 25 degrees lower than the temperature that it was set at. I baked them at 160 Celsius, which is what is that? It's 325 Fahrenheit. So I should have baked these at a lower temperature. But that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is, because I think the tops, I had them in there for what? Yeah, I had them in there for just about 15 minutes. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take one out, let it cool. I'm gonna let this cool inside the water in case part of it is not fully, what's the word? Part of it is not fully cooled. In case part of it is not fully baked in the center. So I'm gonna leave one out and then we'll leave the other one in. But otherwise, I'm gonna have to come back. I mean, they're jiggling the way it should if it's set, but I just don't like the way it looks. Maybe it's the heavy cream that I used. Temperature, there's so many factors here, but let me show you what it looks like jiggle wise. Okay, so hopefully you can see this well, and it looked this way in the oven too, but it has like a slight jiggle in the way Jello would, or that's how it's jiggling. I think it's fine, but definitely at a lower temperature next time if I make these again. Okay, so, am I tilted? Okay, so, I'm gonna let these cool down at room temperature, and then once they're cooled down enough, I'll let them fully, sorry, my cat distracted me. Okay, so I'll let these cool down at room temperature, and then once they're lukewarm, I'll throw them in the fridge and let them fully cool down. So I'll be back in a couple of hours to brulee these, and then we can give them a taste. Okay, these are all set. Luckily, it is still winter and it's snowing outside, so I actually just put these out in the veranda to cool down, and they cool down completely. So they are set really well. Again, there's some browning that happened, and I think it's just because I should have baked these at a lower temperature with the oven that I had, but it is what it is. The recipe says to do this with brown sugar, only if the brown sugar is dry. If the brown sugar is still moist, then it won't work well. Luckily, I have some brown sugar that has gotten dry, so I'm glad that there's a purpose for it. Except I don't remember doing this with brown sugar. I think we did it with granulated sugar. But I'm gonna do one with each and see flavor-wise which one is better. I think most places use granulated sugar because my guess is most places don't spend the time to dry their brown sugar. So we shall see. I have my torch. I remember when I taught in-person classes, especially everyone got really excited about the torch, and I had a butane, what's the brand? I can't remember right now, but I had like it was like a hefty torch. And whenever I taught classes, the men especially always got really excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick little thumbnail here. Okay. I really miss my torch because this torch, as you saw, the gas can go in and out. Like it doesn't consistently come out. And I don't know if it's just these, the torch connection itself or these, or I don't know. Anyway, here we go. So I'm gonna do the granulated sugar first. And to be honest, I can't remember which one I left in. This one. This one I took out. This one I left in. This one I left in, this one I took out. I remember because this one had a little bit more. Okay, so the one that I left in longer, I'm gonna put the sugar in. You just sprinkle it in and then just tap it around. This is only supposed to be a thin layer. I'm gonna put an extra layer here. Just spread it out as evenly as possible. For those of you who don't know, brûlée means burnt in French. So crème brûlée literally translates to burnt cream. Just a little fun fact there for you. But I think most people know that. Okay. Brown sugar, which is going to be really interesting. But also, I kind of get the brown sugar. I wonder if cane sugar would work well with this, because the granules are thicker. Yeah, so this is just a little side by side. Okay, let's burn these. Okay, so that's that one. Oh, how pretty. I feel like I should have added a little more sugar in this one, but maybe it's okay. All right, and then the brown sugar. Okay, so this was definitely, I was more nervous about it getting burnt than this one. Also visually, this one, well, this one looks way more burnt than this one. This one is much more appealing and you associate this one more with crème brûlée than this one. But let's go ahead and taste it. I'm gonna bring this up a little. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and taste the granulated sugar one first. Can you hear that? That's a good crust. Oh, okay, so the inside's really nice. Yeah. Crème brûlée. Crème brûlée is also a dessert I really like. The inside is really nice. And the cream, let's see if it focuses. The cream is really nice. I was worried about it being overdone. but I think it was mainly the top. Anyway, I need to stop eating this because I need to try this one. This is the one with brown sugar. The crunch is not the same. It feels like it burns faster and it doesn't melt as evenly. Like if you can see there's gaps in between. It doesn't melt as evenly as the granulated sugar does. I think it's just because the granules in brown sugar are much thicker than the Oh, no, actually they're similar. But the sugar flavor is much stronger. But also the burnt flavor is much stronger. Maybe if I had a stronger torch. If I had my old torch, I think it would have been different. Yeah, I think this one is because the sugar breaks off in larger chunks. I think granulated sugar is easier to eat, but yeah, it just tastes burnt. Maybe there was a better way for me to do it, but oh, I can't have it anymore. Oh, that's a lot of dessert. Okay, yeah, it's hard because I think flavor-wise, brown sugar is nice, but the granulated sugar is texturally nicer, but this just burns way too fast. I wonder what would happen if you mix both of them together. Maybe for another time. Well, thank you so much for watching another episode of Recreating Recipes from Culinary School. This recipe will be in the description, so don't forget to try it out. And if you do try it out, please let me know what you thought about it and if you liked it or not. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.